What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. The 26th of May. It's Sunday morning. We're taking a look at Aerodrome Finance. So once again here, Coinbase will be our price data here. This will be the AERO / the United States dollar. This will be a daily chart. Let's look at some price targets. Let's talk about what's going on here in the markets. Things are pretty quiet here for Aerodrome. And we're going to take a look at Bitcoin at the end of the video, guys. So stick in there for that. Talk about two scenarios potentially playing out here for Bitcoin. Welcome, guys. Let's jump right into it here. So we have a price today of up $1, up 1%, not a dollar, 1% here for Aerodrome Finance. We have what looks to be another higher low in place for the price. So we are slowly but surely stair-stepping our way back to the upside. We are quickly approaching our last area of resistance, which was at the $1.28 level right here, guys. This circle just represents our last major area of price resistance at the 128 mark, which came in perfectly. Those dates were the 5th, 4th, and 3rd of May. So we've been still below that for the rest of this month now. It's been about 20 plus days. We've been we've moved a lot, but we're still within the range of 128 to 85, with our higher low being right here at 87. But we are stair-stepping back to the upside. Let's draw that on the chart. So you can see we have the higher low here, lower high, higher low, higher high, higher low. What is next? What is next is the higher high. We want another higher high here to come in place. So unless you're a hater or you're bearish or you're short Aerodrome Finance, I don't even know if you can short this. I've never looked, but otherwise you want a higher high because you're long and you're bullish. You want higher prices so you benefit financially. And that's what we're looking for here. And I don't have any other reason to think why that wouldn't happen unless, one, Bitcoin trades lower, right? So Bitcoin puts in a lower high, which we're going to talk about at the end of the video. So Bitcoin potentially rolls over, putting in a lower high and a lower low, or Aerodrome Finance starts to fail very close to where it's at now. If that takes place, then we're going to be checking out the lows over here on the 23rd. And if those are undercut, we will be heading lower. We'll be testing these lows over here from the 19th and 20th. And then after that, we'll be testing the lows of 87 from the 14th of May. So we're in this zone here. You know, the question is, what happens here? Do we trade higher? Do we pause here and trade lower? Once again, we're going to go talk about Bitcoin at the end of this video, which people say, why do you talk about Bitcoin, blah, blah, blah. It's like talking about a stock that trades on the S&P 500, right? But then ignoring what the S&P 500 is doing. If the S&P 500 does really, really well one day, there's a good chance that most of the stocks on that index are going to do well. Maybe not everyone, but most of them are going to do well. If the S&P crashes one day, there's a good chance that most of them on the index are not going to do good that day. So if Bitcoin continues its trend higher, there's a good chance Aerodrome Finance will break out to higher price targets that we're going to talk about right now. Vice versa, Bitcoin trades lower, starts to trend lower. Aerodrome Finance, at some point, if not right along with it, will trade lower as well. So that's why. I don't know why that's so hard to understand. Of course, there's other factors, but, in the big picture, taking a step back, that's basically how it all works here. Upper price targets for Aerodrome. So this would obviously be the scenario of breaking out into another higher high, trending up here, and so far, so good. Basically 153 to 156. So right in this zone here, let's get up to that 153 area, which is just about here. So that area 153 to potentially 156 that's the next leg up I'm looking for before we get to any major resistance. Now, before we get there, I have to mention that we do need to break above 128. 128 is and has been holding the price back since, like I said, the 3rd, 4th, and 5th of May, which were the last major tests of that area. So 128, once we break above that, maybe there's a little trouble at 136. 136 is old support right here. But it's really 153 to 156 is what I'm really looking for. Maybe a slight pause at both of these levels. But that is the target I'm looking for this next leg to the upside, assuming it can make another higher high. Stair stepping, and then we're looking for that break like that up to 153, 156. So that's that, guys, for my price targets to the upside. Nothing too crazy because one step at a time, one price level at a time. Also, there is a concern I've spoken about in the last video that this channel here breaks to the downside. And then sometimes you'll get a retest into resistance and then you'll continue to break lower. So there's a lot going on here, but overall, I don't have too much concern for the bearish scenario. Unless Bitcoin starts to show trouble, then obviously, like I said, this at some point will start to roll over. We really got to print a higher high. We don't want to see this thing start to fade here and turn red, because that's just an early warning sign of potential lower low getting back down to these levels, and that would not be good. That would actually give us a small change in trend back to the downside. Lower highs and lower lows. What we want to see is higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. Unless you're bearish, of course, then you want to see lower highs and lower lows. So that's kind of what's going on here with Aerodrome and what I see. Markets have been quiet over this holiday weekend. Keep your eye on the 128 level. Keep your eye on 136. And then above that, 153, 156. That'll cover this whole area here. I think probably at least for today. I don't know where the price will go today, but if it starts to rise, I would think one of those levels will come into play pretty quick. Obviously, 128 being the first one. So that's my thoughts, guys, on Aerodrome Finance. Let's drop over to the Bitcoin chart, BTC. So we just spoke about Bitcoin and this potential move here in the Cryptex video that will be out this morning. I don't know if it'll be out before this one or not just yet. So Bitcoin, we have a couple things playing out here. We have a higher low. So far, we have a lower high. So Bitcoin is trying to find support at the 68,748 price level right here. We have resistance a few days back up here at the 71,335 price level. We want to see Bitcoin obviously do a higher high here, okay? We don't want to see a lower high and then putting a lower low. That's going to take a lot of the markets south, including Aerodrome Finance. So Bitcoin just sitting right here in the middle. Maybe it just needs a little bit of time to consolidate because it just put in a massive, massive move. We are not too far away. Keep this in mind, guys. We are not too far away from the all-time highs over here. Resistance up there at 73,494, 73,804 are the two levels at least I have on my chart. I'm hoping we get a big explosion move to the upside here past the all-time highs. Guys, thanks for watching. If you are not yet a subscriber, join us here on the channel. Appreciate it. You guys have a great day.